What up?
And there it is.
There it is.
There
I
it
do
is.
love our intros. I'm not gonna lie. I do love our intros. So starting tonight, we did get an update on the cookbook. We were supposed to get it sooner. Chris, you want to tell them a little bit about that?
Yeah, I mean, it's just holiday shipping. They said it'll be here the 17th. So as soon as this sucker pops in, we'll be sending it right out. It's
Try to get it in time
just
for
the way
Christmas, right?
No, you're just hoping.
Fingers crossed, right? That's the goal.
Yep. I know some of the ones we're hand delivering, they'll definitely get it. Plus, we got to sign some.
Yeah, there's a couple they want signed. There is. I'm actually pretty excited, to be honest with you.
Yeah. In fact, as of right now, I'm going to shut down the addresses, lock them up, so that, and it'll give you a warning that says, hey, you have 2 days to lock your address and make double sure, because that's how close it is. We got to get that done. And, oh, it looks like they automatically locked it on 11/26. Okay. Good. 72%. Listen, 72% of the surveys were completed. There's 6 people that did not fill it out. Here's the hint. I'm saying it right now. If you don't fill it out, I don't have your address. I can't send you something if I don't know where to send it. Simple as that.
So if you're watching and you didn't do it, you better find a way to get your address here, please.
Yep.
Or you're going to be messing us, trying to figure it out and blaming us, and it's not going to be our fault. You get an email.
No. Yeah, there were a couple of different emails. One to say start it. Another one that said your addresses are being locked. Hurry it up. Finish it up. So that's where we're at.
We are big sexy outdoors, not big psychic outdoors. So you guys got to help us out here a little bit.
Yeah. Oh, I did go to a psychic once.
Did you?
Yeah. I went. I knocked on her door. She said, "Who is it?" So I left.
Oh my!
Didn't know who I was.
No, you didn't. You didn't. I went to a psycho once. I even married her.
I was gonna say.
Yeah.
You
know, but we all do dumb things. You know what I mean? We all make mistakes in life. I'm sure you can see if everybody's watching. Look at this little face peeking in here, Chris. You see this little head? Look.
I had a girlfriend one time. She burned all of her bills. You don't remember her? Her name was Bernadette.
Oh my God, they just get worse. Christopher. You know, now I know for sure you're related to me because you have the same jokes my dad has. We need to talk about this.
Well, you know, I didn't want to say anything.
But
there was a DNA test that came back that we got to talk about.
Oh, no, you're my brother. It happens, dude.
No, I'm
There's
your
nothing
dad.
you can do.
Oh, no, I'm your dad.
Oh, crap. Sorry, Pop.
I mean, I know you look grayer, but, you know.
Well, I figured I got my facial hair from Mom.
He had to.
I mean,
I'm telling her you said that. No,
because there's no way I got it from you.
My screen shaking.
Yeah, I'm Mom.
Yeah, it had to be.
So, sorry.
Man,
anybody joining us tonight?
I got to get my good licks in where I can because I got nothing for a hunting stuff because I didn't see a dang thing.
Dude, you sound like a Tootsie Roll Tootsie Pop owl. You gotta get all the licks in while you can. 1, 2, 3. Dude, you did have it rough so far.
I did.
Let's be honest, you have had it rough so far. The first
day I went out.
Go ahead, tell them.
The very first day I went out, I came up for squirrels, and then it does a thunderstorm right away, right when I get there. And then
what was that? Like the first 40 minutes?
Yeah, within. If I didn't even get to the woods, it starts thundering.
I remember.
And then the first day of deer, I get up there and I sit, and I'm up in the stand, and a little baby walks behind me, which again I let go. And then there was some monster trashing it behind me. Like you could hear it coming right through the bush. And then some son of a bitch decided to beat their horns, flash their lights, and whip their car around right down there on the road. I don't know who that was.
People are a-holes.
People are.
People are just a-holes, man. I don't know what to say. Those people suck. You know? I wish I knew who them jerks were.
Yep. I couldn't tell you, Healy.
Sometimes you got to say hi to the guy in the tree stand. You know what I mean?
Sometimes
you got to give the deer a little bit of a warning. You know, you got to give them a fair chance. You don't want them all to get shot.
No. But yeah, that was the closest I got in all season so far. And then
actually, that was the only deer you seen, wasn't it?
Yeah. Honestly, it was. Yep. Now I did see one when I sat with Nick during youth rifle. But I was just sitting with him, and then that one again was pretty tiny. We let that one walk. We had that video of it.
Oh, I remember the video. Yeah, we have a short up of that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was good guiding on your part. Telling them to be quiet and don't move, and the deer laughed at you both, knowing you weren't going to shoot it.
Well, I did smack him in the face with the gun. Like, bam, shut up, Nick.
Nick.
Yeah.
Nick, you're talking.
Shoot. You got to give him one once in a while.
Oh, sorry, that was good.
But otherwise,
he does get a little on the. So let me tell you a little bit about Nick and the deer.
I gotta say, every time I've sat with this kid, he's been perfectly fine. I've never had an issue with him. Now
you're not his dad.
That being said, I'm still gonna make fun of him.
All right. Well, we'll talk about the chicken wing another time.
Lord,
yeah, the chicken
as a good
wing.
Christian, I can't even mention
Chris
that.
knows what I mean. The chicken wing. I like chicken wing. So, sorry. So, Nick and I butt heads in the tree stand a little bit because what happens is Nick gets bored, and when Nick gets bored, Nick likes to do dumb stuff. You know, the one day Nick was taking a string. That wasn't a big string. It wasn't and he's taking a string. Now we're with a rifle in the tree, in the blind. And he's putting it in as his trigger going like this. And I looked over and I said, you put one more thing in at that trigger and you're going to walk your butt home and I'm hunting today without you. Whoa. I said, no. So Chris, you know what? That's a great subject tonight. I think that's a fantastic. You just did this. Look, you walked us right into a subject. So, youth in the outdoors. I mean, at what point and at what thing do you say it's too much or too little, right? And then on top of that, there you go. There's the video. And then on top of that, at what point do you send a kid home? Do you just take the kid when he wants to go? Do you kind of egg him along? Like, what do you think is correct in all that?
Me personally? How do I want to say this? How many times have you stomped through the woods when they said walk quietly? Now, I think you have a case for the opposite. Because your dad told you, and he yelled and said, he didn't yell. He was firm when he said, do not get your ass out of that tree. Right? You listened.
I didn't. He fell too. Broke his back. I left him there.
No, you stayed.
I know nobody wants to hear the truth, but that's the truth. He broke his back. I heard him screaming. And after him saying to me, your butt better not move from this stand. I don't care what happens. I knew I was going to be in deep poo-poo if I moved. So he broke his back, and I left him scream for probably, oh my God, Chris, probably an hour and a half.
Really?
I was 12 years old, 13 years old. There's my dad with a broken back, and we're down deep in the woods. Dude, that was miserable. That was a story of, oh God. I don't even know where to go with it. Like, it was crazy.
So there are some cases where they shouldn't, where they should know that they can break the rules. But for the most part, you got to keep taking them so that they learn. Yes, you're going to miss some shots because you're trying to corral them. But it's persistence.
So I guess what I'm getting at is, like I've always, in my case, I've always tried to get my kids involved, right? So for me, like, I always told my kids, you have to try it. I'm not asking you to do anything but try it. If you hate it, I'm good with it, but try it. If nothing else, it teaches you life lessons, right? So, like my Haley, I took her, Moore's Exotic Hunts. Everybody hates the place, says it ain't a hunt, and it ain't a hunt. I'm going to tell you straight, it's not a hunt. However, it supplies meat. It's fun with your buddies, and it's great for teaching kids. Fantastic. If you're new to hunting or you're just doing it, that's great for all that.
Yeah.
So I took Haley on a ram hunt. We went on a deer hunt, and dude, I'm going to tell you, I cried like a baby, but she was hooked from there.
Mm-hmm.
That moment hooked her. Now, Autumn went on a pig hunt with
vegan.
Haley and I. And Autumn shot the pig. I mean, literally, I told her, take it between the eyes.
Mm-hmm.
And Autumn did. She hit it, probably right in the top of the snout, right between. And dude, that thing would not die.
Yeah.
It just kept coming. I had to push Autumn on the ground and everything to finish it off. And so she didn't get hurt. And the reality of this is, she hated it. She said, Dad, I love doing it with you, but I don't want to do it.
Mm-hmm.
So she was very clear that she doesn't want to do it anymore. And that's fine. If she wants a camp or picnic or whatever, I'm okay as long as she wants to be outside.
Yeah.
Now, Nick didn't want to do it. I'm telling you now, Nick did not want to hunt till this year, right? He was like, I really don't want to go. And I took him a few times if I could get him dressed, Hey, what's up? So I took him a few times if I could get him dressed, if I felt like that was the thing to do and get him out. And we seen him a bunch of deer and didn't shoot him. And, after a while, Nick just one day said, Dad, I really want to go. And I said, okay, but you got to get your hunter safety course.
Yep.
Well, he refused to do that for a year. I wouldn't let him hunt without it. I said, no, I don't care if you can. I want you to learn the right way. So I didn't let him because he blew it off for so long. I didn't feel he had earned the right to do it. Now, here we are this year. He's killed a buck, taken a doe and youth rifle, and I am very proud of him. Hey, Mike. Hey, Dustin. And I'm very proud of him because, hey, Jim, he's taken the opportunity now where, and Chris, again, that video you just showed where he's passing little deer.
Mm-hmm.
Saturday morning, I put on a small push. Put on a little push. I had my buddy come up. So he was with Nick, so he wasn't by himself and just stand on a bog pod. And I said, did I kick anything out? They said, you had out one little one, right? What's up, Barnes? And so I kicked out one little deer. I said, well, why didn't anybody shoot? And they're like, no, Nick said, Dad, I ain't shooting a little one.
Yeah.
So in just a little bit of time we're together, that mentality's already been there. He's already at the point where he knows we're not shooting little deer. That's not what we do. Like, he don't want to shoot a spike buck again. He already told me, he's like, I don't want to shoot a spike buck anymore. I got one. I'm good. I want to shoot another one. I respect that. But now, how do you feel like, I guess for me, for you, Chris, and the viewers, I'd love to hear from everybody. How do you get your kid involved? Is yours just letting them want to go? Is yours kind of pushing them? Like, where is it? Where's your...
You have to talk about it at home like it's just a regular activity. Now and again, like you said, not everybody's gonna like it. Because I brought a deer home once. Okay, and Jacob, he was dead set on going. He wanted to go hunt, right? So I said, all right, we'll clean this one and I'll take you out. Well, he couldn't even stand to look at it. He's like, I don't want to do this. And I'm like, that's cool. But and then Xavier, he's always asking to go. So it's and Juliet, she wants to go, but she also wants to be a vet. So
It makes it hard for her to want to harvest, knowing, with the mentality of helping an animal. I get it. I get that.
I said, look, you're shooting them, then you can practice, stitching them back together.
But she likes to fish, right?
Oh yeah, definitely.
So, there's a thing where I just said about it doesn't matter in the outdoors. Getting a kid in the outdoors, if they're out there anyway, camping, hunting, fishing, it doesn't matter. As long as you get them involved, that's really the most important part of this, is it not?
Yeah.
I always say if you get a kid a go-kart and he drives a four-wheeler, Barnes, we just gave cookbook status. They changed the date on us, Chris, December 17th.
17th is what they're telling me.
Yeah. So they're telling us the 17th. They sent an email today. As soon as they're in, we will get them out. Yep. I'll drive down to Krista's. We'll sign them. Whatever we have to do, we'll get them out to you as ASAP. If I have to help box them, I'll help box them. We're going to do whatever we got to do to get them out to you as fast as we can.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I think so. There's those parents out there, Chris, who kind of force their kid. Well, this is a tradition. This is what you do, and I think that's wrong.
Well, now let me ask you then. Okay. Because how do I want to say this? We've been doing this for a little while, right? Because that's just what we grew up with. In fact, a little blast from the past, right?
Hey, there's my big boy. 2002, baby. Woo! Look at that baby.
Right. But
that was Daddy's big boy.
What if you were saying that, you shouldn't force them? But aren't you one that also would say you have to play the sports if you sign up for it?
I do. And again, okay. Yeah, go ahead. Keep going.
And my motto is, if you tried it and you really absolutely hate it, not just that you want to be lazy and you don't want to go, that's different. But if you truly hate this thing, I can't make you keep doing it.
Well, so you bring up sports activities, and I'll use sports activities. That's fine.
And hunting's a sport.
Well, I agree. So, like in this case, Nick really wants to focus on hunting. I didn't make Nick play a sport this year. As long as he's in the woods, he's checking traps, he's doing those things. I haven't forced him into a sport because he's doing those things. However, I do feel, and I will tell you this, that every kid should have to at least play one sport. And the reason I do that is for two reasons. Now, listen why. One, I think they have to find their sport. I don't think they have to, play my sport. They need to experiment till they find one they like.
Yes.
But here's why. I think that as a parent, and guys, you're on here. So, everybody comment. We'll check into your comments. I think that, one, it builds teamwork, and it builds character and friends and socialism. You all get to talk and be part of stuff and learn, right? So I think that's good in a sports perspective.
No. Why does it have to be a sport?
In what sense?
Why does it have to be a sport? Why can't it be a drama club? Why can't it be anything else?
Oh, it could be. I'd be fine with that.
Oh, okay. Because you were focused.
Well, you brought up sport, but I would be fine if it was drama club or archery club or whatever. Farmers of America. I'm fine with that. What I'm getting at is just being with other kids, learning, doing, and don't forget the athleticism, right? Like it teaches. Chris, I'm not being smart. I'm fat dude. It's called big sexy outdoors, right? I'm fat. I spend a lot of time walking in the woods, and I spend a lot of time doing stuff in the woods, and I'm busy 24/7. My dad always says, I don't know how you're big because you never stop, right? So as that guy, I feel it's very, very healthy and good to keep your kids active. Again, Nick checks traps. Nick walks around with me. We do things. So I think that's different. I think when it comes, we did BMX. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah. So I think that's healthy. I think that's good, right? So is this y'all's last days of PA deer hunt? Yes, it is.
Yeah, I think we have.
This is the last week. Saturday's the last day, and then we no longer have Sunday hunting.
Nope.
After Saturday. So, but on that, I think it builds those things, Chris. Right. So the only thing I do think with hunting and fishing, camping, and being outside is it builds lifelong lessons. My opinion. You know, if you take a kid out and teach them to garden, they can now grow food. They don't need a grocery store. You take a kid out to harvest a deer, they can now eat without a butcher. You understand what I'm saying? Like, so I think those things are very important. However, I believe if it's forced, and I'm going to go back to forced, if it's forced upon a kid, that they don't really want to learn it, you know? So you brought up a sport, and I'm going to go back to sport. So for me, sport, I always tell my kids, if you start a sport and hate it, fine. You don't have to finish it, but you must finish the season. It's always my rule with a sport. You're not allowed to quit. We're not quitters at home. We don't quit in my house. That's a rule I've always taught my kids from day one. We do not quit. None of my kids have ever quit a sport. I don't believe in it. I don't believe if you do it, you should be allowed to quit it. I believe that should be something taught by a parent beyond what we're talking about, you know? So I apologize. There's comments. We'll stop what we're talking about a minute, catch up on comments. Chris, can you scroll there? What did Bradley say?
I got it. They asked about the cookbook status. We already mentioned it.
I think starting them really young makes a difference. Once they get a little older, it gets harder. See, I do agree.
Yeah.
Totally agree to that.
Yeah. Again, I'm not a fan of forcing. Offer and take them out, but then if it's truly not something they're into, then if you force them into it, they're naturally going to rebel against it and hate it anyway. That's how you get vegans.
Yeah, I agree. And here's the thing: if you take a 6-year-old out and hold their hand, let them sit in the stand and play an iPad,
they're going to like it anyway.
And you're hunting and not them. They think it's just as cool as if they're hunting.
Yeah,
and that kind of helps build. So I agree to that totally.
Yeah. And yeah, this here is true too that Barnes said, and I'm never good when I have to say that Barnes is right. That hurts me in the soul. But no, he's right. You have to make it where they want to hang out with you, right? It shouldn't be when they're that young. It shouldn't be all about the activity. It should be, a shared thing.
Yeah. No, I agree. What did Jim say? I'm with you. I let them decide if they want to. Yeah.
Yep.
So I'm with you. I think that everybody that's commented so far. Hey, Corey. I think that everybody that commented so far is right. I think that we let it in the kids' hands. I'm ready to go ice fishing. I hate to say this, but I am too. I hate the cold, but I do love my ice fishing now.
So Michigan gets till January 1st.
Wow. Yeah, we go out next Saturday. Or this Saturday it is. This Saturday we go out. Saturday. So, Corey, while you're on, make sure you tell Joy congratulations. Joy shot a big buck. So make sure you tell her congratulations. And I seen your cougar video. And I loved it.
Ben thought it was a different kind of cougar, so don't worry.
He said he got a cougar and he showed it goes to his wife. It goes over to his wife. I thought it was great. Yeah. But no, I almost crow season. All Barnes. I love crow season. It's one of my favorite. I'll tell you what my favorite season is, Barnes, and that is rabbit. Second season rabbits. I'm telling you, I know everybody thinks I'm crazy. But that's a season, and I'm fat. I do a lot of walking in second season rabbits. Let me tell you what, we go up and down the holler, up and down the holler. I love second season rabbits. I think my crew last year shot 150 some rabbits. The year before we got 200 and some. I mean, all together through the seasons. So Jim Harner says, my son Nick always says he wins every time we go out. Yeah, see, I love that. Right there's what it's about. Jim Harder, that is a great one. Yeah, Barnes, I'll get you some rabbits. But I think Jim just summed it all up there. My son Nick always says he wins every time we go out. We get to spend time together alone. And I think truly that's what it's about. I think if you can get a kid to do that and a kid to understand that, I think you have a better chance of getting a kid in the outdoors.
Mm-hmm.
Right? I mean, it's kind of like getting them to buy in, like we said, when they're 6 years old, right? You want them to buy in. The more you get them to buy in, the more you get it to happen,
And make it feel like a reward, too.
Right. Like if you shoot one, you want that little kid to run to that deer just as much as you do. Well, you know what I mean? Like, go get it, buddy. Go get it. I know Nick. I used to say, Bug, go get it. We got a rabbit, and he'd want to. It was funny because last year we got rabbits, and you could tell Nick was starting to want to hunt, And we'd shoot a rabbit, and Nick would be like, can I go get it? Can I go get it? And I'd be like, go get it, buddy. Well, can I carry
Yeah.
it? Can I put it in my pocket? I'm like, go ahead. I don't care. I mean, that's where I think it should be about the kids. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If that's, I don't know. I think that more things in life should be about the kids.
Well, like with that picture I showed of the little one, he when we went out, he's the one that saw it, and then I blasted it, and then he climbed through the brush to go in and get it because that's what he wanted to do. So I mean,
so let me use my son as an example. So in Nick's case, we went out the first day of rifle season this year. Now we had a tremendous archery season. We already told the story. I won't go into it just because we already shared the story, but we had a tremendous archery season. And we go out the first day of rifle. So here comes 4 deer running right at us. One's about 20 yards. I said, get it, Nick, get it. And he says, no, Dad, they're too small. I'm not shooting. I have it on video if anybody thinks I'm lying. It was his call, not mine. I was proud as heck of him for that, Then afterwards, here comes a spike buck. He says, Dad, that's a buck. I said, you can't shoot it, buddy. You already chose your buck in archery season. So it was a lesson he had to learn. But it teaches patience. It teaches a lot of stuff in it. You know what I mean? And then, so Nick is like me. We worry about my dad often. So my dad come up early from hunting, scared some deer from us. And I'm going to be honest with you guys. I'm going to shoot you straight. I love hunting with my dad. So this year, 4 times, I just went with my dad and filmed. I sat on the ground with my dad, and I'm a grown man, 46 years old. And I'm going to tell you that there's nothing that made me happier than sitting on the stand with my dad, knowing that he don't have many years left to hunt, and being able to spend a moment with him. And one of the joyous moments this year for me was we were sitting on the ground, and I've been watching this big buck all season. All season. And which Nick and I seen him in a rifle season. I couldn't shoot him.
yeah.
And I said, Dad, I think I know where to sit. We're going to make it different. We're going to call an audible today. I'm going to try something crazy. No tree stands, no nothing. We're going right to the ground. He's like, really? I was like, yep, to the ground. And I sat right on a mock scrape. When I tell you we sit up off a mock scrape, Chris, I could smell the mock scrape. We were so close. You know what I mean? So we were all done, and we were walking up to her, and I said, Pop, I'm so sorry. I said, if I had put you on a tree stand, you probably would have seen some deer. We didn't see nothing. I said, I am so sorry. And my dad said, buddy, I don't give a crap about them deer. He said, I don't get to see you much, and getting to come out here and sit with you means more to me than any deer. And I'll tell you what, Chris, I about cried. And that meant everything to me, and that's what I want with my son. I want that we spend those moments together. What did Barnes say? Daryl just lost his dad today. Oh, I'm so sorry. Barnes, please give Daryl our condolences. I don't, it's a thing that happens in every man's life, but it is definitely not something we wish on anybody. I know at some point in my life I'm going to go through it. I know Chris has already gone through it, and it's nothing that makes us or anybody that feel any better inside. It's a horrible thing. So please give them our condolences. But so we have viewers. We have a lot of comments. What's everybody's in here? Like, I think there's so many opinions in here, and I say opinions are like buttholes. Nobody got one, and they all stink. I'm not going to lie. But the reality of it is I do like hearing everybody's opinion because we all think different. We're all different people, different areas, different, and we all have a little bit different stuff. So at any point, feel free to chime in. And if we don't catch it right away, we will catch it. I want to stress that.
Yeah, tell me how old you were when you guys went. When you guys first went.
Okay, so when I started hunting with my dad, I was about 8 years old. I would go sit with him, cough, move leaves, get yelled at. Be told I was probably going to throw me down the step. No, I'm just kidding. But my dad,
he actually just threw you down.
Yeah, my dad just, he was a lot like me. Be quiet. When I teach my son, I want him to know the right way. You don't dance you can't get up and dance in the tree stand. You take your time. We want to do things right and be safe. And so I was about 8, and then I was about 10. I want to say I was 10. And I was sitting at a tree with my dad, and he said, there's one. And I was like, where? He said, don't you move. Don't you move. And I was like, Dad, where's the deer? And it went, boom. And he laid down this huge doe. And I'm going to tell you something, Chris. That was the moment I was hooked. I was hooked right there. Man, when he let me run down there and help drag that deer out of there, I tried like heck to drag that deer, even though I couldn't. That was the moment I was hooked right there. So for me, that was it. What made you start, Chris?
Me?
Yeah.
Well, Pap took me out because my dad and them didn't like any of that. So yeah, no, he took me out when I was 12 or so, right after I got the hunter safety course, and just took me out squirrel hunting. Gave me a 12 gauge, and he let me borrow one, and we sat on a log, and he said, "That's all you got to do, man. You just got to sit here, don't move, and just watch." That's why I like to sit on the ground and hunt so much, because that's how he taught me, and sure enough, we blasted a few, came home. Then he took me out with Smiley, and it's like a 60-yard shot with Smiley running behind a rabbit. He goes, "Take it." Okay, so I ended up shooting this thing, hoping I didn't shoot the dog, because you're little. And then he actually took me once to the fishing game deer camp for a few days.
Okay, now, I remember that place.
We did have to leave early because I was shot.
With a gun?
Yeah.
You actually got shot?
I remember. It went right here by my head, and then everything hit me in the face. Yeah.
So you got hit by like the bark of the tree and stuff?
And the shrapnel a little bit, yeah.
Holy
yeah, me and Pap were standing there because we were about ready to head out into the woods, and all of a sudden, all you heard was crack, and then right next to my head, the bullet hit the tree. Well, Pap went in, he snapped out. He lost his damn mind, which, I get. And then we took the caddy up the hill, and we came out. But no, ever since then, that was who got me into the hunting, was Pap. But yeah. How many times?
Pap was a big part, I think, of all of our lives. So Barn622 says what, Chris?
How many times did you figure out your mentor did a lot of things that you learned not to do in hunter safety? Yeah.
Yeah. I Listen, I remember one time, Chris, I'll tell you this. My Uncle Charlie, we called him Butt-Butt. God bless his soul, he's dead. I remember one time we were walking through the woods, and I wasn't lifting my feet. I was young, 15, 16. I was tired of walking, didn't care anymore. And we were on these buck tracks, following these buck tracks in the snow. And he said, lift your feet. And probably 4 times I didn't lift my feet because, you're a kid. I didn't.
Right.
And next thing you know, dude, he punches me in the chest.
Nice.
He just turns around. Poof. I said, pick up your damn feet. Let me tell you what happened. Picked up my feet after that.
Yeah.
You start to learn real quick.
I got one. I won't say who said it, but one of our relatives that we were out with, he goes, if you're ever out pheasant hunting with me and you shoot a hen, just remember, Game Commission does not check your hubcaps.
What the hell does that mean? Oh, you hide them in your hubcaps.
You stuff the.
I got it. I didn't get it right away.
Yeah.
Well, back then you couldn't shoot hens.
No. Back then you couldn't.
Back then it was only roosters. Now you can shoot them all, both. Yeah, now you can shoot them both. It's different now. It's a lot of fun now.
Yep. No, I just thought that was funny.
I love taking a kid out. I don't think there's anything better to take. If it was up to me, I would take a kid out and I would just film and not hunt no more. The issue with it is, so here's the issue. This year, we killed a ton of deer. I filled all my tags. Nick shot 2. It's hard, and somebody can tell me I'm wrong. Please comment if you think I'm wrong. It's hard to mentor correctly and still film it.
You think so?
I think so, dude.
Why is that?
Well, when I see a deer coming, I'm not thinking about that camera. I care less about that camera.
Mm-hmm.
I'm thinking about my son, making sure he takes the safe off. He waits till the deer's in the right spot. We don't shoot at it when it's not broadside. And I think a lot of those things become more important than the camera. And this year, because of that, I don't have a whole lot of footage, and I killed more deer than I killed ever.
Mhm.
But that's why, because it was Nick's first year, and I just really felt like my job as a dad was to be a good mentor, not a photographer or a videographer. You know,
I knew what you meant.
I caught a bunch on camera. None of it I liked or was happy with, because it's like, oh, I'm putting this down. Oh crap, I should have caught. You put it back up, but it's too late. You know what I mean? And I run into that a bunch. Like, I didn't take my big camera. So the second day of rifle season, I didn't take my big camera. I took my GoPro, and I figured I could film everything off the GoPro on a stick. Liar.
Right.
I filmed the whole second day and the first day. I'm a liar. There was no zoom. So guess what? I pulled the footage up. You can't see the big 20-inch 8-pointer standing in front of us at 80 yards. You can just see and it was, broad daylight.
Mm-hmm.
And all you see is this little tiny brown speck out in the thing. And then this big 8-pointer came up to us. There's another thing. Couldn't see him because I had the GoPro, so you can't zoom in only so far. You know what I'm saying? So we had a heck of a freaking second day, buddy. Let me tell you that. I was the best second day of rifle I've ever had in my entire life. And we couldn't kill any of them. All buck. We killed the only doe we seen. Well, we seen 2 doe. Very first doe came through at 9:40. But a buck was chasing it, moving so fast Nick couldn't get a shot. And I only shot the doe after Nick missed a few times. Then I put it down.
I remember that. I'm going to ask you something. Okay.
I'm fat.
No, there's nothing to do with that.
Okay. I'm not married.
So for years, okay, I didn't go out, right? I find that even now, like, I have plenty of pictures and I have plenty of videos of me out by myself hunting. Okay. I find I don't enjoy it as much when I go out by myself. Now, like, if we were out and we were a couple 100 yards apart, that to me is not out by myself. That's still out with people. I don't think I enjoy it as much going out alone.
I have to agree with you, totally. I think it's so much better to share with a buddy. And listen, and now I'm going to go back to kids. So when you take your son, you're not alone. It's so much cooler.
Yeah.
It's so much cooler, dude.
That's what I was getting at. Yeah.
It's just so much cooler. I don't know how to explain it. Like, and listen, there's times, and I'll shoot you guys straight. Like, I will not lie about any of them. There's times he's like, Dad, there's a deer. And I'm playing on my phone.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Now, there's times he's doing dumbness, and I'm like, Nick, get ready. Here comes one. Yeah. So it works both ways, but there's 2 sets of eyes. You're sharing the moments together. You're helping each other. You're teaching each other and learning. And listen, there's stuff I've learned over the years that I thought I knew everything.
Mm-hmm.
A Barn 622. I've hunted with Barn 622 numerous times. There's things they've done different than I've done. I mean, just pheasant hunting. They hunt off a Rottweiler, right? And I always thought it's called a Rottweiler. It's a certain dog. They hunt off a Rottweiler. And I thought, there's no way this dog is better than any of the dogs I hunted off of. This dog is freaking awesome. I mean, incredible. What a dog. And I've hunted off some really good dogs, but I think this dog is just phenomenal. I mean, I love how it listens to the commands and pays attention real well and doesn't lose focus. And so there's things I've done with him that I've never done before. And I think every time you go hunt with somebody else and go back, I just think it gets better.
Yeah.
The more you learn, the more you get to teach, the more you get to share, right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I don't know. I guess I see things differently than some people, but I don't think so. I think as a hunting community, we need to stick together,
Yeah. But that's like even when, like going out for coyotes, predator hunts.
Love it. One of my favorite things to do.
But would you still do it if you went out by yourself?
No.
See, that's
no.
The thing.
I'll tell you what makes me enjoy coyote hunting the most, Chris, is I'm standing aside my buddy, and we're BSing
Mhm.
while we're doing it.
Yeah.
I'm being honest. Like, that's what makes it so fun for me. It's one of the only times you can hunt with your buddy, and it doesn't seem gay, right? Let's be honest. Usually, if you're sitting with your buddy, it's weird if you're in the same buddy stand together. We've done it. You know, you're touching you're pressed against each other.
I never thought of it that way. That's
no,
on
but
you.
you know what I'm saying. Some people would say it that way. I don't see it that way, but that's how some people say it. You know, I had guys say to me, if I said, "Oh, I was sitting in the stand with so and so and filming, oh, you're doing that gay stuff," whatever. I don't care. It doesn't faze me.
Yeah.
But it's a one time you can go with your buddy and stand right aside of them and BS and still use thermals and pay attention and still get excited and still pull the trigger and still,
Mhm.
you know what I mean? Love predator hunt. My God, I love predator hunt.
If it wasn't so expensive, I'd get one of those thermals.
You got a cheap one here. I don't have a thermal though. I have a night vision, but I have a cheap one up for sale.
Yeah.
Anybody out there is interested? I got one up for sale. Oh, sorry. But a thermal, and there's the one thing, you know, you use a thermal. You just brought up a thermal. I don't think you need a thermal to hunt predators. I do think it makes a major difference.
Oh my God.
I do.
Dude.
But you don't need it. You know, we hunted with lights for how many years?
Right. But after he showed me that, because we were out at that field, and I looked up and I saw nothing. But then as soon as I looked through that thermal and I saw about 40, 50 deer standing there, I was addicted to thermal.
Yeah, it is.
I can't look at anything else.
I won't lie, it's pretty addicting. But you know, here's the thing: I won't use thermal to hunt them. I won't use thermal to harvest a coyote or fox.
What?
I will scan with it. I will not shoot with it.
Weird.
You know how many guys make mistakes because they can't tell what's in an $8,000 thermal?
No.
Oh my God, dude! These guys that say they don't do it, they are full of crap. Full of crap. You're white. Oh,
time.
Oh, we
no,
hit that time already.
blinding.
Are we at that time already? Holy crap! I didn't realize we were at that time. Holy moly!
So, yeah, we got to wrap her up, and
so we have a couple of things in the works. They're not definite, they're not big, but we got 2 minutes here to wrap up. Let's wrap up. And one is we're working on a deal with Matthew Blade Works.
mm-hmm.
We're working on that. I'm going to end up getting that in the works here. I'd like to do a contest. Chubby Buck, I have one of their calls sitting here. I'd like to do a contest for a Chubby Buck call. And we may go back. So we are closing down our Evil store.
Yeah.
That is going to happen. It's not making. We're making no money. We're closing our Evil store. If anybody is interested in any of the products there, let me know. We'll sell them to you. You know, same way we're doing it now.
Go up now before the end of December.
Yeah, you'll help save me. So we are going to close our Evil store down. However, we are in discussion of a website or a place to purchase the stuff from there. Chris and I have to discuss that a lot more, but we are kind of in conversation of that. So that'll be another way we can open it up to you guys, that you won't have to come to the store, but can still get your hands on our stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Cookbooks 17th are supposed to be here. That was changed. And what else am I missing, Chris? Oh, Taste of the Wild Outdoors. Taste of the Wild Outdoors is going to be February. Is it 21st, Chris? Do you remember?
I was going to say, they announced it. I didn't know they announced it yet.
I don't know if they fully released it, but I think the date was, well, anyway, it's in February, near the end of February. Big Sexy Outdoors will be set up live. The whole team. We will be there with headphones and microphones, and we're going to shoot live right at the event. The event's a couple hours. We are going to be live the whole time, except for probably Why We Eat. And who knows? Maybe we'll do Why We Eat just so we can try the food in front of the camera.
I was going to say, yeah. Wednesday, December 17th is when it says that they're shipping it.
So make sure that you go down there and check it out. We are going to have a chair set up to do interviews.
Yep.
So we want to put a chair there. We want people to come tell us maybe their first hunting adventure, or how their hunt went for the season, how their archery went, what they thought of the food. Just a ton of questions we want to ask some people.
As long as it's appropriate.
Yeah, it'll be good. It won't. Maybe if you get a couple of hot girls, I'll ask if they're single.
Lord.
But no, it'll be nothing bad. Everything fun. We're going to have a good time. So make sure you guys join us. Jim Harner, if you're still on and watching, I really hope that you and your family can join us this year. I think that would be a great thing. I think that would be good. I'd love to take you down there and have you experience it. There's a lot of cool food, a lot of great things. I'm looking forward to it. And as always, guys, thank you for watching tonight, right? Like, Chris and I got in here tonight and weren't sure what we want to talk about, and dude, we just ran. We got it. We never listen. We do it all the time. We don't have to guess. We know we're going to figure it out. We know we're going to run.
Yeah.
We don't script. We're good at what we do. I think you don't have to. I do, and we make it happen, right? So I think we're good at what we do. And one more thing before we go out is we're talking about changing our podcast to a live setup. So in January, we'd like to do that. We pre-shoot them. Set it all in a live setting in an hour. If we can all meet live, we'll do that. If we can't, we'll pre-shoot like a Tuesday and then air it on a Monday. So it'll be whenever the BSO crew gets together. That will be the, that will be the thing. So something to think about. Your thoughts on that, messages at BigSexyOutdoors2021, gmail.com. Anything you got to ask, questions, suggestions, whatever, we're open. We love yous. Thank you for watching, and don't forget to take a child outdoors. God bless, guys. I'll see you later.